JSB Talks Digital.
Hello and welcome to JSB Talks Digital, the podcast for marketers, bloggers, business owners, and those of you bringing your skills into the digital age. I'm Joanne Sweeney-Burke, and this podcast is brought to you by Digital Training Institute. Coming up in today's show, in social media news, Snapchat spectacles are here. Instagram updates stories with new features. Facebook rolls out sponsored messages in Messenger. I interview Dr. Stephen Brennan, Chief Digital Advisor to the Irish Government. Shoutouts to 3 social media friends who are creating excellent content online. JSB's column, The Power of Digital Storytelling, and find out what social media tool saved my working week.
Social media news.
Snapchat spectacles are finally here, and they sold out from a yellow Snapchat vending machine in just a few hours. This is Snapchat's first foray with hardware, but what a cool and complementary product for their users. Available in black, coral and teal, spectacles work with both Android and iOS devices. To operate spectacles, the user simply looks at the scannable Snapchat ghost icon in the app with spectacles, presses the single button on the top left, and the process handles itself from there. Snapping video with the spectacles gives you the opportunity to shoot 30-second videos, but once uploaded into a Snapchat story, they are turned into 3 10-second clips, but play as a continuous clip. A small light inside the glasses blinks to notify the user when recording begins and ends. To let those around you know you're shooting, a tiny ring of LEDs on the front left of the glasses swirls around during recording. If you follow Ryan Anderson Bell on Snapchat, then please check out his snaps using spectacles. They're awesome. Add him at Ryan Anderson Bell. And I'm off to get myself a pair. Watch out for JSB snaps and her new spectacles. Instagram has launched new features inside Stories, Boomerang and Mentions, while they're also now testing links inside some stories. I'm very excited about the latter, as getting valuable web traffic is a key social goal of mine. You can now boomerang inside stories, which essentially allows you to have moving images turn into a video and have fun with the movement of your pics. Meanwhile, in stories, you can also mention somebody in their story and they will get a direct message to say they've been mentioned. So some really great new features from Instagram that I'm already trying out. Be sure to follow me at JSB Grams. Finally, Facebook has rolled out advertising in Messenger. Sigh, I hear you say, I know. Having ads on our personal social space is almost too much to bear. But Facebook is a business and it's all about monetizing those features. Facebook says in a blog update, "This is an ad destination we began testing a few months ago, and we are happy to announce that this is now available to all Facebook advertisers. Early adopters have used these newsfeed ads to open conversations in Messenger in order to raise awareness of their brand campaigns and increase sales. For example, Absolute Vodka recently launched a Messenger bot to drive product samples, and they used newsfeed ads to increase traffic to this experience. So watch out for ads in Messenger. There's nowhere to hide."
Interview.
This week I was at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, attending Ireland's largest healthcare conference, which took place over 2 days. The event brings together Irish and international healthcare professionals, HSE staff, industry and other experts. The theme of this year's conference and symposium, organised by the Healthcare Informatics Society of Ireland, was the digital patient empowerment through technology. I had the opportunity to present on day 1 on social media policy for healthcare professionals, while on day 2 I chaired a panel discussion on empowering the digital patient. Joining me on that panel was Dr. Stephen Brennan, Chief Digital Advisor to the Irish Government. Stephen is also founder and CEO of the healthcare informatics company Century Analytics. I'm delighted to have Stephen on JSB Talks Digital.
JSB Talks Digital.
Okay, so Dr. Stephen Brennan, you're Chief Digital Advisor with the Irish Government. You're also the founder and CEO of Century Analytics. First of all, I want to ask you about your role. What does it involve?
Well, the Chief Digital Advisor really, what I try to do is I try to focus government on the application of digital. And what I try to think about are the areas where the technology and content is evolving that can contribute to Ireland. Whether that be from a social context and helping communities in rural Ireland to connect with each other and connect with the rest of the world, whether it's small businesses, whether it's our education system, all of these things, and looking at how digital has an application for those things. So as a society, we have certain challenges and we have certain desires. The question is, how can technology be best harnessed to do the things we want and to minimize the risks that we're placing ourselves under?
Now, we've just attended the 2-day Health Informatics Society of Ireland conference, and we've spoken about, that perhaps there isn't enough money to go around to introduce the technology that we need. But is the challenge just money?
I think money plays a role, but in it, as technology evolves, money becomes less important. It's not important, it just becomes less important. Why? Because technology is a lot cheaper. Technology is ubiquitous, it's everywhere. So if we just take one example, let's say we're trying to support new businesses. The question becomes, do we need large research laboratories where a small number of people with special tools and assets in education think of all the ideas? Or, so the people that are listening to this podcast and they have devices in their pockets or their bags or on their desk that are connected to the internet. So they, in principle, every single person has the capability of connecting their idea, their piece of content with anybody, anywhere in the world. So this is a remarkable new evolution. And really the only barrier for us is our imagination and our energy to actually get up and use the technology to achieve some objective. That it's almost limitless what we can do. So really, it's more about energy and enthusiasm and creativity. These are things that we're very good at in Ireland. And maybe less about raw materials and about money.
Let's talk about small businesses. And one of the practicalities of being the Chief Digital Advisor to Government was the Online Trading Innovation Voucher, which has been hugely successful.
Yeah, the Trading Online Voucher Scheme is a very interesting, it's an example of of trying to encourage the application of digital. Each business is different, but we do know that with 90% of Irish consumers researching products online, and with Irish consumers spending €14,000 every minute online, the opportunity for Irish business to sell products or services is enormous. The Trading Online Voucher Scheme is bespoke. It means as a business, you want to trade online, you have your own specific ideas for doing that. You go to a local enterprise office, they give you some training because most of the barriers is around your knowledge as a business owner or your confidence, and they give you a little bit of financial support and then set you on your way to doing what you want to do for your business.
So let's talk about Ireland compared to the rest of Europe or indeed internationally. I think when other countries look at the island and they believe we're punching above our weight because we have all the major social networks headquartered here, they have their European headquarters here. But really, how well are we doing?
Well, the most important thing is that we feature in Star Wars. So that trumps everything so far. But seriously, Ireland does extremely well. It does well because we have technology companies here, but let's be clear. The reason technology companies here, they're here for one main reason, and that is talent. Irish people have the talent, they have the capability to do things with technology. We have a young population, which means we've lots of users of technology. And that is our key opportunity. Our key opportunity is to try and translate that enthusiasm and try to focus it into something productive. Now, around the world, there are really strong economies, in the US as being the major one. But the US does not invent all the technology. The technologies are invented everywhere. What the US has been successful in doing is applying them, is getting them into the marketplace and getting them to use. So really, the key for us now in terms of competing in a digital world is not closing down and trying to isolate ourselves, but perhaps doing the very opposite, to become the most engaged, the most transactional, the most in engaging with other ideas, with other people, with other cultures, with other ideas, and using this ubiquitous digital channel to harness the power of people, the power of the transactions that occur, and being the best at doing that.
So talk to me about Century Analytics. Obviously, I work in digital marketing, so I'm looking at a Google Analytics dashboard day in, day out. But you're applying data analytics to provide industries such as healthcare with actionable insights. Talk to us a little bit about the company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a physicist and mathematician by background. I'm sorry, I have to say that to you. So to me, numbers and data is what drives every action. So one of the things that I've discovered, particularly in healthcare, is the lack of the connected data dashboard that you would be familiar with running your website. And in order to get the data, we've had to invent technology that actually tracks, connects with each action that takes place in the treatment of a patient in a hospital, because the systems that are there are simply, they're isolated from each other. So you have a system in one area of the hospital and a different system in another. So what we've tried to do is build a platform that connects all these different aspects of treatment together. Of course, to you and me, that simply reflects a patient's view of their treatment. They come in, they get treated, and they go home again. The specialties are not available to them. So what we're focused on doing is trying to use this connected set of data and be able to analyze the data and to be able to do something that we haven't been able to do before in healthcare, which is to predict. To be able to predict where the next influx of patients to radiology will be, to be able to predict how many beds we need, to be able to predict how many nurses we need to be on call at a particular time because of the dynamic nature of the treatment that's required. Century Analytics is focused on patient flow and trying to use data to help nurses, doctors, hospital administrators to do their job.
Shoutouts.
My shoutouts in this episode go out to 3 social media friends who are doing great things online. Director of Inside Sales at Agora Pulse, Jenny Brennan has unveiled a new hashtag. Foxy for 40 is Jenny's personal mind and body transformation journey, which began 9 weeks ago. As the hashtag suggests, Jenny will turn 40 next year, and she wanted to transform her physical and mental health. But its impact has spawned and has caught the attention of her many followers on Snapchat. Her natural digital storytelling ability has engaged and inspired her fans so much that she is now intending to turn her personal plan into one that other busy women hitting 40 can take on. Having watched Jenny's journey, which she shares so openly, she has opened up a new, bigger social media conversation about women, the dreaded 40, and how we often put ourselves last. Jenny and her personal trainer Shane Ward from NCC Fitness in Kong are currently putting the online program together, so watch out for that. Be sure to check out Jenny Brennan's Facebook page and add her on Snapchat at Jenny Brennan Vow. I'm hooked. Samantha Kelly, also known as the Tweeting Goddess, has launched her online Twitter program for newbies. Twitter is powerful for building relationships with customers and getting leads and sales, and it's a free marketing tool. But many don't know where to start. Samantha has built her Twitter following to a whopping 34,000 followers organically, and now she teaches people how to get a return on their Twitter marketing. The course is only €54, but if you use the code TwitterMagic10, you'll get €10 off. Find out more at tweetinggoddess.com. Finally, I'm giving a big shout out to Marie-Claire Baird, who is a social media photographer. Her unique ability to capture the stories from events and have them online across all social networks almost immediately is remarkable. I've been working with Marie-Claire this week, and you can see the results on the Digital Training Institute Facebook page. Please follow Marie-Claire on Twitter at Baird Inspired, and that's BYARD_INSPIRED. inspired. If you have an event that you want me to give a shout out to, be sure to get in touch. Just tweet me the details to @tweetsbyJSB.
JSB's column.
Digital storytelling is the art of bringing tales to life on the social web. I describe myself as a professional storyteller, and in fact, the bio on my personal blog, joannesweeneyburke.ie, goes a bit further. It says I'm a storyteller, hence the personal blog. Tales, yarns, epic monologues, musings, conversations, anecdotes, scoops, and narratives. You'll find all sorts of stories here. Many people are afraid to open up online, worried about what people might think of them, what they might comment, or even what reaction button they might hit on Facebook. But the reality is, as the internet grows to Goliath size, we have no choice but to bring personal and personality into our digital storytelling. So let me share my top 7 digital storytelling tips with you that can work for brands or individuals, and I encourage you to give them a try. Number 1, evoke emotion. Pulling at the heartstrings is a guaranteed way to get your content noticed. Of course, don't try and fake emotion. Rather, consider the story that you want to tell about your brand or business that people will be able to identify with, learn from, or act upon. How to achieve this is simply thinking of an experience or an event that had a dramatic impact on your business. Share something you haven't shared before. Sharing firsts on social media is a great way to get reaction and interaction. It will also help humanize you or your brand in a way that competitors are not doing. Craft a number of possibilities and see which tale will have the most impact and resonance for your audience. Thirdly, get front of screen. We have no choice but to get front of screen as the video content explosion erupts. The social networks will also thank you for it, and your audience will too as they get to know you some more. Fourthly, I'd say tell a story over a period of time. A great way to tell a digital story is to almost reveal and publish chapters over time. So this could be in the form of blog posts, vlogs, or Snapchat stories. This will keep an audience hooked for longer. My 5th tip is to multi-purpose your story. Are you repurposing your content for sharing on other channels? I always repurpose my content from my blogs, podcasts, webinars, and presentations for social media. So that's why JSB is skilled at content production, because I repurpose all the time. My 6th tip is add a lesson learned. Ensure you always have a takeaway or a lesson learned from your story. This will be seen as the valuable part of the digital storytelling tactic. And if you manage it, your audience will come back for more. Finally, I'd say ask for feedback. Don't forget to ask your audience for their thoughts and opinions, and don't be afraid to either. If you do suffer trolling, then follow my 3-step rule. Screenshot, report, and block. And remember, as I say in my TEDx talk, don't let anyone steal your voice. And don't forget to share your story online with me. Tweet me, Tweets by JSB.
Social media tool of the week.
Do you know how you're performing against your competitors, or if your social media is actually working? Well, this week I took a trial of Rival IQ before I discuss a possible monthly subscription. Rival IQ has been invested in by social influencer Jay Beer. It analyses your digital performance, delivers critical insights, and helps you beat the competition across social media. It analyses SEO keywords and also website content, all in one easy tool. Other Rival IQ features are social post analysis, hashtag tracking, social media metrics, organic SEO keyword research, web page tracking and comparisons, social and SEO positioning, Twitter mentions, multi-user accounts, and much more. I'm now going to work with a sales rep on this product to see how it can support me and my clients to gain greater traction online. If you want to find out more, log on to rivaliq.com. Thanks as always for tuning in to JSB Talks Digital. I'm beginning to get real traction with this podcast as I've been invited to events to record content, have been asked to speak on stages as a result of topics covered, and have even secured consultancy work. So my commitment to my podcast is paying off. Remember, the big C in digital marketing is consistency. Do it well, but do it on time and every time, and the fruits of your labour will pay off. As always, I'll have everything discussed on today's show on my blog at digitaltraining.ie. And to ensure you never miss an episode of JSB Talks Digital, make sure you subscribe on your smartphone, on iTunes or Stitcher. You can also subscribe on SoundCloud. 20 minutes on a Friday can really keep your digital knowledge in shape. If you're interested in becoming a guest on the show or have an event you want to promote, just drop me an email to joanne@digitaltraining.ie. If there's a topic you want me to cover, tweet me at tweetsbyjsb or snap me at JSBsnaps. I'm Joanne Sweeney Burke. This has been JSB Talks Digital. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.
JSB Talks Digital.